Alright, what is up, fam? What is up, YouTube? This is your boy Phil, and today we are going to learn how to park in Mission Lives. So the act of parking is essentially trying to get a specific score that you want, like a specific number. Now, in the leaderboards, you might have seen some people get like, exact like 20 million or exactly 30 million or like 8s across the board, and you're thinking, oh man, this guy's cheating. Nah, they ain't cheating. They ain't cheating. The act of parking is usually really easy because there's a site called Bestdori, and they have a computer algorithm that helps you basically figure out everything. You plug in your teams, you plug in all your area items, and they just do some formulas, and they say, okay, play these songs, and you'll get this score, and you're good, right? Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have this algorithm for Mission Lives. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and manipulate this score here to get exactly what we want. Okay, so 642496. Let's try to do 643210, right? So let's try and get that score as our example, okay? So, how do we park in Mission Lives?
So, in order to get the score we want to make sure we find a consistent method on how to score points in Mission Lives. The results screen at the end of each game can certainly give us an idea of how Mission Lives are scored in terms of points. However, in order to score consistently, we have to consider a few factors.
So the first thing you have to do in Mission Lives, as you can see, this is a, where is it? This is a cool event with Poppin' Party members, right? In order to park correctly, you should try to avoid using these characters. So in this case, we're not going to use Poppin' Party characters, we're not going to use any cool attribute characters, okay? So that's the first thing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to play a song. Now, the one thing you have to do is you have to make sure you don't have any flames. If you do this with flames, you're going to mess up your calculations because it adds a bonus to it, right? It adds a multiplier to it. So you want to make sure you do it flameless. So, in this case, right, for instance, you want to, go in and then just cancel, right? So you just immediately cancel and get out of there, okay? So the next thing you have to do in this sort of pre-park setup is you have to make sure your team, again, is not of any of the attributes. I usually use 2 stars because I think it's easiest to do and just work with. So make sure you have like a set of like 2 stars or whatever that has nothing to do with the event, right? So in this case, Poppin' Party cool, I'm not going to use any of these. And all I have to do is just play. So let's just play. The main important part about this screen is this screen. Okay, so we're going to go on here, right? There's 3 important parts about this screen, okay? So in Mission Lives, how they calculate your points is based on 3 factors, okay? The first factor is this guy, the 40. That's the total event points. That's just flat. You're always going to get 40 points as part of the event. So that's always going to be part of the calculation, okay? The second one is your event support band, 68. So this is based on basically your highest scoring units in your roster. And this is why we are not using any Poppin' Party or any cool members, because they will essentially occupy this band power. So this is also going to be fixed. So in my case, my points is 68. The last crucial point is the score points, which is in this case, 38. Okay? 38. Where does this 38 come from? It actually comes from the score right there. So the first 2 digits of your score in that 6-digit score you get, this is actually very easily manipulable, right? As long as you know what score you get at the end, the first 2 digits are going to be adding to your score points. So that's why 40 plus 38 plus 68 gives you 146 in total. I know quick maths, I'm Asian, I know how to do this. Basically, by doing what I just did, I get 146 points, and if I do it every time, I'll get 146. The one thing you can manipulate in this case is the score in blue. So that's how we're going to park in Mission Lives. So the only way support band score might be affected is if you gacha and you get a new member. So in this case, if I gacha right now, right, if I get the 4-star cool Remy, that's going to affect my support band score. And that will affect your calculations as well. So once you figure out those set points, in this case mine is 108, you shouldn't gacha.
To expand a bit on the event support band score, keep in mind that your event support band will be different for every single mission line. It will depend on the character and attributes that are focused in the particular event. So everyone's event support band score is going to be different from each other, as everyone owns different kinds of cards. As a result, everyone will have a unique number of set points they will get after each song, but the set points will be consistent every time. You just have to make sure you don't use any character or attribute focused cards while you're parking, otherwise it will affect your event support band points and score points.
Another thing to keep in mind is you should try and do this once you have about 1,000 points away from your score. Because again, as you can see, I got 146 points. So, you know, it's all about small increments and just making sure you get there. You just have to make sure once you're about like 1,000 points away or less, you should try and consider doing the strategy to park. Okay, so I want to get 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So if I do the math, right, I go into my calculator and it's a 568 difference. If I divide that by 4, it's 142. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a song, right, and then just play that 4 times and try to get 340,000 every time, okay? So in terms of songs, it really doesn't matter what song you choose. You could choose any song you want in terms of parking. So like for instance, I'm going to do, well, you know, why don't you do the Kodai Kara, right? So what you could do, right, I could just drop it, right, and then just like, you know, purposely get less scores, right? And again, unfortunately, when it comes to mission live parking, you have to be a little bit more flexible, and also, you know, it's a lot of trial and error. So I know the song is almost ending, and I see my score is kind of, you know, going up a little bit, creeping pretty high. So I might not actually make it. Oh no. Okay, see, I manipulated it like really closely to make sure I get 340,000. And then of course you could like purposely throw and such. So yeah, there, I got 142 points. So 6, 4, 2, 7, 8, 4, sorry. And then 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's 426. 426 divided by 3 is 142. So again, if I do this 3 more times, I'm good to go. Okay, so if you don't make it, right, that's fine, right? In my case, I'm still like pretty okay in terms of like adaptability, right? So for instance, I got 32 here, right, as my first 2 digits. I'll just try and get 36 in the next one, right? You know, again, it's flexible, but it's at the very last one is what really counts there. So I'm just gonna keep going, right? That's fine.
So overall, parking in Mission Lives is a very trial and error process. There might be chances where you'll be undershooting or overshooting your intended score. If that is the case, you can consider the following options. You can add higher rarity cards if you are undershooting your score, or using lower rarity cards if you are overshooting your score. Just remember not to include any character or attribute focused cards in your team. You can consider playing different difficulties of the song, as each difficulty scores differently and it could be easier to control your points. Don't be afraid to try the hard, normal, or even easy difficulty in order to secure the score you need. You can always change your area items to score better with some teams or score worse with some teams. And if you are really overshooting your park, you could consider dropping notes intentionally in order to lower your score and possibly get the score you intended.
Clear 50 lives. Okay, so now I'm very close to my park, right? As you can see, after this score, I have 141. So now I want 643, 210 minus 643, 065. That is a score of 145. So again, as you can see, my support band and my event points have stayed the same since, right? 40 and 68. So I can subtract those two, and I'm left with 37. So I need to score 37. So that's what I'm going to do. So, you know, this is our last song, and you have to make sure you park well, okay? But again, reminder, before you do anything, check your flames, right? I have 0 flames right now. We're good to go. So always check your flames, especially on the last park. I'm approaching it, right? And I might not make it, actually. Wait. I think I barely made it. I barely made it, guys. Okay, so that's an example of like being like, you know, honestly very very clutch. So, you know, after the end of the song, you should always just pause, just like immediately pause, and just make sure that you have the right score, right? In my case, I saw 37, and we're good to go, right? 145, and there's the score, 643, 210. So that's how you park in Mission Lives. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to write a comment down below. I'd be very happy to help. And you know, if Bestdori is able to build an algorithm for this, it will make our lives a lot easier. But for now, it's just a trial and error process, right? So yeah, so that's how you park in Mission Lives. Feel free to give a like, comment, or subscribe to my video.